Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Oakland Raiders and the Miami Dolphins. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Smith got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
And, Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient and let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. David Johnson on his way. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. David Johnson, his second touchdown on the season, and the Raiders have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays, there's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown, they're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Leopard! Leopard! Now let's go!
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And down he'll go at the 25.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
They give him a gain of 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Ito Smith, his first carry. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Set. Green, 39.
They keep it with Smith on first down. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Darian Stewart there to bring him down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
He'll get it up the middle. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. The quick slant caught, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Ben Koyak, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offensive tumming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Don't forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Parker. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and we're in all off season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure there's flexibility there because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Screenplay, Johnson. Powering his way forward. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. David Johnson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when it...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. David Johnson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. That's fielded in the end zone. And they're going to bring him down just past the 15, and a flag down as well.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Caught by Nelson left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of 32 that time.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Watch twist. Watch twist. Detroit! Detroit! 53 is the mic.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. J.J. Nelson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown. Tucker with the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On second down, here's Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And it's caught by Parker. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Now a first down throw. It's Smith throwing the out route and complete. That's Miller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Smith throwing again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Johnson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw on second down is Smith. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A shotgun snap for Smith. And throw right side complete to Parker. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Mason Crosby on for the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Crosby puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
Now let's go.
On first down, Allen. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Allen. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That goes for a gain of 31.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From midfield, here's Allen. Complete over the middle to Hardy. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here we go.
Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
And that is going to be incomplete. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And the Raider D, they get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
The Raiders on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12.
12.
From the gun, here's Smith. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence, because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Leopard! 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 Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Nelson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And that one results in 35 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case, the goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Johnson, they'll only get a couple up to about the 30. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
From the gun on third down, Smith. Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Offense.
And that'll set him back 5. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action here on first down. He's going to look deep down the field, and that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football.
Back now in Miami. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. The first down carry here for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. On the tackle, it was Dane Cruikshank. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to let this slip away.
The Raiders on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Smith. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover, a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. David Johnson, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Andrews. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. Allen now on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now Allen. It's caught. Nelson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big 30-yard play on third. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the third down.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. J.J. Nelson, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Dolphins have got it back to a one-score game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides. Easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Johnson on the counter. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Smith operating from the gun. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Aaron Lynch able to run him down for a loss of a yard. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now
down.
your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
They'll try and sneak it here. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Hey, give him credit. That's a good, solid game there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
2nd and goal from the 1. It's a quarterback sneak. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Josh Allen scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Smith now to throw. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Grant. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
Mostert now to return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization. Because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talents. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people, get out of bounds, and get it downfield and try and score.
Yeah, he's trying to earn his stripes here for a winning drive.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And yes, he's into the end zone. the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So another catch, more yards, and now enough yards to break the single-game record.
It seemed inevitable the way this game went that the yards record would fall, and we got to see it. We got to witness it, and the crowd is so excited to watch another NFL record fall.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. A gain of 3, second down.
So they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. So out come the Raiders, set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side with a play.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.